Kyo Judge. That's
All
fine.
right, bet. All right, bet, bro. So for the rest, Hyakustar, you can say your character. I don't know his
Wait,
name.
no, don't give me a judge. Don't give me as a judge, man. I'm gonna leave in a few minutes.
Bro.
Or you can just like send me the reg and I'll judge it or something.
Yeah, we can send you the rest.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna be using Ragna the Blood Edge from Blaze Blue.
I'm going to be using David Martinez from Cyberpunk Edge Runners, and yeah, I guess we can start this
Wait,
debate off by
is it David Martinez versus who?
Versus
Rock.
Ragna the Blood Edge.
Hmm?
So yeah,
This is
Rock
street
the
tier.
Blood Edge.
It's like street tiers. It's a high or large building cap. Relativistic plus cap.
I thought we were doing speed of
That,
light or something, but
that's
okay,
fine. That's
okay.
fine. That's fine.
I guess that makes. So I guess Yakistar, you could start this debate with what is why do you think he wins, man?
Yeah, so I just think that like my character outscales like
Um,
yours. I just think that my character would like speed blitz and outscale your character.
I don't think that's the case, right? I just think more so like I just think like from what I know about this character, I just think that they're equal in speed, and I also think that they're most likely equal in AP, man.
Okay. Um.
And
Yeah.
maybe they walk out with like arm gone, maybe a leg gone.
All right, you want me to just send the scans, man?
Yeah, forward. Yeah, man, send scans.
Yeah. So this is just gonna be like the speed scaling for my character. Let me grab one more thing.
Okay, let me see. Is there any more context behind just like a scan here? Like anything else?
Yeah. So there's like a vampire witch lady, and she's like summoning lightning,
All right.
and he's dodging it. And we can see from Wikipedia it says that the average, ground the initial stage of lightning strike, like reaching the
Thank you for
ground.
highlighting it.
What?
I said thanks for highlighting it.
Yeah, it's 1.5 times 10 to the fifth power meters per second, which is just going to be fall under the category of massively hypersonic. It's going to be 150,000 meters per second.
All right, bro.
And then we can see here, we can see Ragna and Turumi, which Turumi is the guy dodging the lightning. You can see Ragna and Turumi being able to like be relative in speed. So I just think that Ragna is just going to be like, at least massively hypersonic, at least relative to Turumi, which is just why I think that he's massively hypersonic. Do you have any contentions?
Let me view the video and I'll just let you know about anything. I actually don't need to look that far into it, but let me view. Yeah, man, no contentions with this. This skill seems pretty solid. I guess I'll add my speed skill.
All right.
So, start with the first one, man. There's the Sandevistan tackle. This just got calc to like this. Yeah. So just skim through it, man. See what you think of it. Yeah.
Okay.
So building high hypersonic, right? But that it doesn't end there. No, bro. There's also this other scan here. I'm sending David snatching a harpoon and viewing a truck as completely frozen. Also, the videos are in like the forum if you need to see them. And basically, Admin Smasher and David perceiving each other with the Sandevistan in this video here. And I believe there's also a calc for this video too, which David sees the gunfire as completely frozen, which I also think puts him at massively hypersonic on a consistent basis. There's also other feats. If you want me to look for it, basically V is V from Cyberpunk basically has like electric weapons and like atoms like that just shoot like pure electricity. And Outer Smash is just able to like weave and dodge. If you want me, I could go look for that. If I don't find it, bro.
No, I think this is fine for massively hypersonic.
Yeah, let me find. Let me. All right, bet.
You want me to just on my AP now?
Oh yeah, we could do AP.
Oh yeah. Okay. Let me just send my scans. Okay, here they are. Then where's the count?
By the basically when they mean like covered in a heavy duty restraining barrier, even a reactive weapon will give it cracks. But it's just like What's this like reactive weapon?
Yeah. So I was about to get to that. So it just seems to be the case that like they're just gonna be referring to nukes here. Like it's just like heavily implied that they're nukes, right? It
Why would
says
it be
it's no
nukes?
use. Yeah, right. It says it's no use. This jail is covered in heavy duty restraining barrier. Even a reactive weapon wouldn't leave a scratch. Oh, you don't know? A reactive weapon were weapons used by mankind until the completion of Ars Magus or Ars Magus. I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's basically just like this weapon used before they like developed like this magical weapon, and we can see in the verse that like nuclear weapons have been used, right? So it just seems to be that like with like before like the stories or like before the main story, like nuclear weapons were like prevalent. So if like nuclear, I don't know, but like if nukes have been used prior and they're like exactly as described within this, it's just safe to assume that by reactive weapons they're just going to be talking about nukes here, because especially after in the third scan when they say that it burned everything to the ground leaving only despair, uh in a way they were worse than the black beast. And the last part where it says in a way they were worse than the black beast, let me grab another scan. um
All right, bro.
we could see here it's talking about the black beast, and it's saying, not wanting to share this fate, the remaining nations of the world unleashed the whole of their nuclear arsenal upon the creatures. So this is when the black beast was destroying Japan. And then after this, I don't know if you want me to send the scan, but after this, it says due to like the nuclear weapons used to attack the black beast, the rest of Japan was destroyed. However, it did not affect the black beast. So it's basically just saying that like it destroyed more than the black beast did while attempting to beat the black beast. So it just seems to be like externally consistent that the first couple scans are just going to be in reference to nukes, right? You have any contentions with that?
Not really, man. Uh, also like, I don't know if you heard me like the first time it's on rec. I also mentioned that the first scan with the Saint Devastin tackle, it also includes David's AP, an AP scan.
Oh, AP? I actually did not notice that. Let me go really quick.
Yeah, I told you, but it's honestly fine. It's just like a building plus AP, bro, which is just large building. So long story short, right? I think what's gonna happen is your character is gonna go punch David, right? And he's gonna be in the same Devastin, and basically like there's gonna be just as fast as each other, right? So you know that video you sent
Mm-hmm.
them fighting? It's basically gonna go like that, and then they're gonna punch each other, and then they're gonna knock each other out.
So you're just taking it to be that it's going to be a tie?
Yeah, I think that I think it'd be completely fair for it to be a tie.
Okay, I think my character would just like range diff your character, given he uses a sword.
Oh, why would he? Why is that the case?
A sword is going to be longer than David's arms, so he's just going to be hitting him before David would, unless you can prove that like David would be able to like dodge and weave this sword. Since we're like already agreeing that they have equal speed, I just think that having like an extension to his body like Ragna does, like having a like a pretty long sword, you can even see the sword. I just
I
think that he'd be able to hit David before David would be able to hit him, just due to like a range diff.
Right. Anyways, I don't think that's going to be the case, right? Because even like basically, I know I said the fight was going to go like that, but I just think that eventually, like, since your character clearly has this like amazingly like awesome sword, right? It's just like basically David's gonna like back up a bit, right? He's gonna like line up a free shot. Like, hold on. Like check general, like he's gonna like do a switch away from the back like that, right? And basically he's good. He has this projectile thing in his arm, kind of like Adam Smasher, right? Where he can like shoot things. Like it's also in like one of the scans I sent. Um, yeah, it's also in one of the scans I sent like in the video. He has this projectile thing, so I just think he's gonna like
Can you
use that projectile launcher.
okay? Can you prove that this would like scale to his like actual like punching AP?
His punching AP.
Yeah, because all you've scaled so far is his AP from him punching somebody to be like,
No, perfect. So I think that they like him and I'm Smash have the exact same like arm thing. Let me find that for you, bro. Smash your arm cannon model. Okay, let me find his. Trying to find. arm cannon. Okay, so you see the projectile. Okay, so basically, if you check the wiki, he has a projectile launch system, right? And long story short, this projectile, like the projectile launch system that David has, right? Basically, I need to see if it's in this video, but long story short, bro, you can hit Island Smasher with it, who's shown to have like the exact same speed as David Martinez. So I just think it's fair to make the assumption that like this guy's like super cool like arm system or like his projectile launch system. It would just it was also just hit your character and you'd be like, yo, what the fuck is that coming out that guy's arm, basically.
Wait. Okay, can you repeat the argument for me?
I basically said, right, that like the projectile launch system I just sent in skins. Basically, long story short, you agreed to the scan, which also means you agreed to David and I'm Smasher perceiving each other and like being on equal speed with each other. V from Cyberpunk is shown to have like a projectile launch system as well. Like they can have it, and basically, long story short, they are also able to hit Adam Smasher with this projectile launch system. So yeah,
Okay,
I'll
I
find
think
I'll
it's fine if it moves at the same speed. I'm asking like why it would have the same AP that would be relevant
the
within the
same
fight.
AP. I just said that like I think it'd be maybe a little bit greater than what's his name? Maybe it'd be a little bit greater than David's AP since it's from the harm Adam Smasher who just upscales David.
Sorry?
I just said maybe it'd be a little bit greater than David since like what you may call it. It can harm Adam Smasher who's just greater. He's
Can
just
you,
like AP
okay,
than
can you
David.
prove that it
See.
can you prove that it harms Adam Smasher?
Yeah, let me go search that boss fight for you, bro.
Oh yeah, okay.
My God, bro. Oh, I'm getting an ad. I got you. I'm a broke guy. I don't have YouTube Premium. Yeah. Or actually, I can see if Rituals has the boss fight video because he has an arm cannon. Is this it? All right. If you check with all right, check scans. Basically, this is gameplay. This is game. This is like the gameplay of the boss fight. You just basically see that Adam Smasher. He's just getting hit up by that projectile launch system, bruh. He's getting like hacked into and stuff. So yeah. It's a bit lengthy, so if you want, I think the timestamp is like 2:11 or something. Like, or it's just throughout the video. I'm sure you'll find it. You're a smart guy.
Mm. Oh, okay. Wait. Wait. So when does it happen within the video? Is it just at the start, or like?
It's just throughout the video. I think it was like let's just skim through. I'm sure I literally saw it with my own two eyes.
Okay.
Like near like somewhat near the end.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. I have one problem with this.
Yeah, what's your problem, man?
So yeah. So we can see, I assume at the top where it has a percentage next to his name, I'm just going to assume that's his health bar, right?
Yeah, that is his health bar.
Yeah, and then we can see when they use it, it goes down about from 69 to 65. So that's what, 4%? This doesn't really seem to be like
It's what, but it's
relevant to where
but
you
no, no,
scaled his
but
durability
at
to.
the end, but at the end of the day, right? Adam Smasher is still shown to be able to. He's still shown like at the end of the day, right? When the sun goes down, this guy is clearly taking damage from this projectile launch system, and like he's like clearly staggered by it, right? We can see
No,
like
it
throughout the
doesn't. It doesn't seem to be that he staggers. It seems to be that that he was hacked into. That's why he's kneeling down.
like no, he's like like he's clearly staggered. Wait, what? Wait, what? Like you
When
can see
when
that
they shoot,
he's like getting shot with it, and then he's like getting shot with it, and then he's like getting hacked into. He's clearly like getting staggered.
right, but
All
like
all
here,
these like
let me.
attacks coming in rapid succession. Like I just believe that's staggering him. Like
Okay,
can you tell me?
I think that's fine that it could be staggering. And let me set an example, or let me give an example. So, you can see this GIF of Krillin throwing a rock at Goku, right?
This is
Now,
non-canonical because Goku would never take damage from that rock, bro. That's like he's like out there, bro. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, continue.
all right, but so we can see that he throws a rock at his head, and Goku thinks it hurts pretty bad. He's moaning and
Yeah,
groaning and holding
yeah,
his head, right?
yeah,
But
right.
I don't think this would necessarily mean
That the
that
rock
if
scales to Goku.
I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that that would just immediately scale the rock to
No, no, that's no,
have the
but
durability of
no,
the
but
character.
no, no, but that's no, but that's the problem, right? This like this rock pales in comparison. This rock pales in comparison, right? Goku, I forgot which like part of Z this is from. I haven't watched Z in a while. Could you inform me?
This is after the Namek saga. This is before the Cell saga.
Right, right. I just don't think this analogy applies for first because like for okay. We're clearly at like we're clearly at a brick wall here. So what we're gonna do, right? Sorry, I'm looking at chat. All right, clearly what we're gonna do, right? We're gonna take a few steps back, right? We're just gonna go to like where you began the analogy again. Can you just repeat that for me?
Okay, yeah. So basically, what I'm understanding from your argument is you're trying to take this rocket launcher thing, and you're trying to scale it to Atom Smasher's like durability
Right?
by showing that it's able to hit or that it's able to hurt him during his boss fight. What I'm trying to say is that we can't necessarily say that it scales to his durability due to the fact, and I'm giving you like the example. So we can see Krillin throwing the rock at Goku, and it's like hurting him. It hurts his head. However, I don't think that necessarily means that if Krillin had a bag of rocks, he'd just be able to kill Goku just via the bag of rocks, just because it's shown to be able to it's just shown to be able to hurt him. I think there'd have to be some sort of other external factors. I don't think that like we can just scale like the idea of this rock to be like the same AP as the durability of Goku here. I think that's
Okay,
absurd.
okay, right. I was tracking that. Okay, I was tracking that. I just need to hear that second time, right? But here's the clear difference. Okay, obviously, like Goku, he's like somewhat harmed by this. He's like, ah, man, bro, that hurts. Ah, brother, you just threw that rock on my big ass forehead, right?
Yeah.
So, but okay, there's like a clear, stark contrast between this, right? Goku, he's like, he gets hurt by the rock. You know, it's like a get the rock thrown. I'm sure you've had like something thrown at your head before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, this is a this rock right here is a temporary pain for Goku, right? He's like, ah, man, I hurt, and like literally, like that's what I'm gonna go after. He got like over it, right? Like, yeah, he got
Uh,
probably got a little mad at Krillin, like like, bro, you just threw that rock on my forehead, like for what, right? But in this scan I'm sending here, we are seeing Adam Smasher take physical damage from this projectile launch system, and we are also seeing him like take damage. We're also seeing him take damage from these other things, like in this case, V like hacking into him, frying his like frying his. I guess it's frying his biomechanical suit. I just need to see like which hacks it is
I
in
think
question. Yeah,
I
like
think
synapse burnout. I just think that that analogy just doesn't apply due to like how
I think
like
all that's fine.
focused
I think
it
all
is.
that's fine, right? I think all that's fine. But we could take like the same example I was giving earlier, and we could just apply it in like a more practical manner, like in relation to the scan you sent, right? So like there's multiple different things that are hurting Adam Smasher here. Let's take the rock Let's take the rock to be the rocket launcher, right? And then let's take a stick to be all the guns that are being thrown at him, and like all the and everything else. So if Krillin were to sit there, obviously this isn't like a claim about Goku, right? Goku's just like like yeah. So if Krillin in this situation had like 80 different rocks and threw all the rocks at him and then started hitting him over the head with sticks and then started, putting a bunch of boulders on him, that would obviously be a different situation. I think that's more relevant to like what's going on within the scan, but that's not really like the point I'm trying to prove. The thing I'm trying to prove is the isolated one item being the rockets aren't necessarily going to scale to his durability. I think we could take like the entirety of what they hit him with and we could scale that entire arsenal to his durability. I think that's like much more.
I think I get what you're coming from, right? Like you see the Malort, you see like Johnny Silverhand's pistol being shot at him. You see you obviously see the hacks. I was gonna like add extra thing, so I guess like we'll see like tons of blades of grass are getting in Goku's eye, and that staggers him. In this case, those blades of grasses are going to be like the hacks, right? We're going to take it.
I guess we could say that.
Okay, basically, like that's not what that's. I just don't think that like. I guess like maybe we can't scale the entire arsenal, but we're just seeing it's just consistent throughout this video that like Adam Smasher, he's just blatantly being like harmed by this projectile launch system. So,
and
like,
it's like
there's a lot of external things happening, right? Hyakustar. There are a lot of external things happening, but like at the end of the day, actually no, at the start of the day, right? At the beginning of like the day at 12 a.m. sharp, right? Adam Smasher is still being harmed and staggered by the projectile launch system, right? Even before that guy loses an arm, he just gets one shot straight at his like big ass forehead once again, right? So,
wait, I think that's fine.
I wasn't finished. Sorry, I was coughing. I wasn't finished, right? Actually, just say what you gotta say. I think I might cough some.
I think this is just like I think you're just like going circular here because like I already like made the distinction.
I just think that like I don't think that I'm going sick. I just think that like
so the reason I think you're going circular is I already just made the distinction about like harming something in scaling to their durability. If I'm able to harm you, it doesn't necessarily scale to your durability, right? Like something lower than your durability can still harm you.
Oh,
it's
brother,
just harm
brother, whoa, brother, whoa. Okay. Let's just take a look at the definition of harming, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you agree to Google, man? To Google Oxford, like
depends on the definition.
Okay. We'll just do Google first, right? If you have any intentions with this definition, we always go to Oxford, right? All right, gender. All right, just check gender. Harming means to cause physical pain, injury, or damage to someone or something, right? And which tiering system? Which tiering system? I would make the fair assumption that we're using versus Battle Wiki as a consistent base, judging that you agreed to the scaling, right? Okay.
Yeah, we can use VSPW.
I'm trying to find it real quick. Yeah. Give me a few moments.
I think I kind of see where you're trying to go with this, but like,
I think we've been thinking like we're going for a while, right? So let me see. Let's look at it.
Okay, but here, Durzeo, I have a question for you, man. So say we have a building level character, and then we just take a normal steak knife, and we stab them with the steak knife 500 times, and that causes them harm. Does that mean that a steak knife is building level? Yes or no?
A steak knife is building level, and it's causing them. You said it's causing them great harm.
Yeah, you stab them 500 times in the chest with the steak knife. Does that make the steak knife?
I would say it makes the steak knife building level. I would just say it makes more so like you building level because you're putting like force behind these blows, right? Like can we use a machete for example in this next one?
Sure.
Okay, let's say like Hyakustar, let's say you're like building level, right? Let's say like, you just punch away a building like you're Mr. Incredible, right?
Yeah.
And obviously AP equals their ability. Um, let's say like I use this. Let's say I have this like long machete. I'm like Jason Voorhees, and I just start slashing and slashing at your chest, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is causing you great harm. You're like, yo, bro, chill, bro, stop. It's like that Goku picture, right?
Yeah.
I think the physical striking like behind these attacks I'm giving to you, right? Basically, that's just gonna put like me also at building since I'm clearly causing you great harm and you like agree to the you agree to the definition, right? Also on um
I disagree with that.
why do you disagree with that?
Yeah. I just think like for something to be like relevant to I think for something to relatively like scale to durability, it has to have like, some sort of reason. Like I don't think like we could just go back to the analogy which you never really addressed, like a steak
I
knife. We
never
just
really
stab somebody.
I literally addressed that. What? It's on
Yeah,
record. I just said that.
you just used like a different analogy to address it that was
No,
like kind
no,
of
no,
like
I didn't.
neutral
I
to
didn't.
balance it.
I said, like, if I'm stabbing you 500 times with a steak knife, I said that would more so make you building rather than the steak knife, aka the weapon at hand being used, right? I literally responded to that.
Uh, yeah, okay, that concedes to my argument.
How does that concede what?
Wait,
How
so
does that concede?
so you, so you don't think that makes so you don't think that the weapon is building, you think the person is building.
Yes, but like, can you go in depth to why this is a concession, Yakustar?
Because you're trying to argue for why the weapon is building.
Okay, right? Okay, right. But the thing is, like, running the steak knife, right? This steak knife is the steak knife, right? Like I just said with the machete, I'm using my physical strength to swing and swing at you, right? But
I
rather with the
agree.
rather with this projectile launcher system, it's a really big explosion. It's in your face. It's like an action movie, and the guy's walking away from the explosion, right? This
Yeah.
projectile launch system cannot be prepared to a sharp object that I'm using my physical strength. In this case, I'm building to stab you with. That just doesn't apply, Yakistar. That's like me trying to compare, that's like me trying to compare Edward Scissorhands' like knife fingers to like a nuclear bomb, basically, right? Like I just didn't know where you're trying to get at there. So I just don't think that is a concession of itself. And also, like I can't find the exact thing, but like this is like hold on, I'm just gonna send this in scans, right? Even then, right? Going back to the main thing, since you agreed to harming and you agreed to VSBW, check scans. I low-key can't find like, but like for instance, arming a character with certain level of durability also allows another character to qualify to the corresponding tier. I just think this would also apply to weapons since VSBW also like upscales people by their weapons. So I just think that having this like so having you agree to the definition of harming and having you agree to VSBW, I just think that it'd be completely fair to say that this like arm cannon thing that David has, the forgot what it was called PLS for because I know it's PLS, right? This PLS that David has, I just think it's consistent that it's like in the building ranges and it'd be able to like harm slash stagger your character to, to like harm and stagger your character. Meanwhile, he's like trying to slash at him with a sword like he's like Dante and Virgil from Devil May Cry, right?
Yeah, sure. Wait,
Yeah,
okay.
sure. Yeah, sure.
Right, but
Is that like a concession or is that like
no, that's not a
okay,
concession.
okay,
No, so
continue.
yeah, but I don't really think you're like I don't want to say you're not addressing the main point, but I don't think we've really like we've really answered the main question here, which
What
is
was the main question?
yeah. So at what point
At what
does doing such an insignificant amount of harm not scale you to the character? Because I don't think we could say doing any harm at all would scale it to the character. Because like we already seen that with Goku, you would have to like prove that like this 4%, because we've already established that the Rocket is only doing 4% of Adam Smasher's total health. So I think it's just safe to say that if we have his durability at this certain like that at this certain area, it would have to be like a significant amount, right? So I think that you'd have to prove that like he's actually being like harmed in such a way that it would scale it to this character.
Once again, kind of going secular. So just basically, right? Just running it back. Long story short, we see like when he gets his cannon shot in his face, he's clearly like staggered by it. He's like, oh, but he doesn't like grunt. He's not like, oh, but he's like, oh shit, nigga, what you shooting at me, bro?
Okay,
like,
wait, let me watch the video because I did not notice that.
Let's skim through the video. Like we could skim through the video. It's like, yo, what the fuck? Like yeah. Like hold on, I could still near the end. God, bro, Rituals is so buns at Cyberpunk. Like, how do you suck at Cyberpunk? What? This guy has a net runner build and he stinks. Like, he literally, like, this guy literally, like, you, like, check scans. He's literally about to fall over. He literally fell over. Like, he's in the air. That brother is floating, bruh. That guy is floating.
Wait, when is that? 211?
You're 211. That guy is literally floating in the air, bruh. He got a 3-second air time. No.
Okay, that's really yeah, bad. That's already after. That's already after he lost a bunch of his like frame and like one of his arms. So he's just like significantly reduced in weight.
Okay, significantly reduced in weight, right? But I'm just saying, like him falling over and doubling over and like grunting, I just think that's the clear indicator that he's being harmed. And not only that, like I saw what you mean. Like I skipped past it, bro. When he gets like there's like another instance of it getting shot at him. Let me
wait, Durzeo. Okay, Durzeo. It's like at the start. It's at like 20 seconds. But like this, I think I already addressed this previously. This is just due to the fact he's already getting hit by a bunch of other things. So what's not in question is if he could. What's not? No, Durzeo, calm down. What's not in question is if he could be killed by the weapon. What's in question is if the weapon actually scales to this tiering. So obviously, we already used the analogy, like, because I was trying to prove this with the analogy where I said 500 stabs with a steak knife. It's not necessarily trying to scale like the force of the steak knife. It's trying to scale to what degree or to like what scale, like you would have to harm somebody with something for you or that thing to scale to it. So if you're hitting him with like, this is obviously like an absurd amount. Like this is just for the analogy, but if I'm hitting him with like 500 rockets, and he dies from the 500 rockets, that wouldn't necessarily make the rockets like scale to him. So I just think since he's getting hit with like these pistols and these guns and all these like attacks and like as well as the rockets, it's just all culminating. And the reason he fell over is because, obviously he's like tired out. Well, I don't know if he gets tired, but he's been fighting for a long time. He's losing a lot of his total mass.
So that's the thing, right? Regarding like him getting tired, the thing about Adam Smasher is that guy is a Borg, right? That like this guy's like David said, when you full Borg, no organic, right? This guy, he feels like this guy is a monster, right? Imagine King Vaughn, but in a cybernetic 7-foot suit, right? He doesn't feel pain. He doesn't get tired. Like within like boss fight like voices. I don't know why they weren't playing in like Rituals' clip. Maybe because he was doing like a alternative ending. Because you clearly see like Johnny is controlling V's body, right? I think he's doing the Johnny ending. But like there's not arguments, what am I saying? Voice lines within the boss fight where Adam is like, bro, is that my blood? I haven't seen it in a long time. Bro, I feel no pain. Like, that RDC clip where it's like, swing again. I know that shit hurt, don't it? That's basically like that, like John with the metal jaw. Like, hold on.
Okay, I think that's all fine. He could not feel pain, but I think you haven't addressed like him losing a bunch of his total mass.
But the thing is, like, we see him earlier. He gets hit like I think it's like around the 1 minute, maybe a couple more seconds in mark. He gets hit by it, but he just doesn't like. He's just like he does like stagger and double over. It's just that, like he's like recovering from like an attack, so he gets like staggered a bit, right? So like even with his arm, I just think like the implication when he was like flying around is like this guy's suit basically, like that guy's suit was just kind of done for, right? But even then, like even like early in the clips, which I don't think you've addressed, by the way, like he's just is shown to like stagger from it and get harmed by it. And like since he agreed to the definition of harm and he agreed to versus battle wiki, you know, arming a character with a certain level of durability allows the other characters to qualify to the
Okay, yeah,
corresponding
I
tier.
see. Wait, okay, I have a question. Wait, so what didn't I address? And second off, where
Like
you're saying
with
that it's like
the
where you're
earlier,
saying that it. Okay, hold on. We'll go back to that. But
all
where you're
right,
saying that he like doubled over and staggered, that doesn't really seem to be just directly from the rocket. It just seems to be that he is like taking a bunch of damage, and then he gets the rocket shot at him, and then his right arm explodes. We can see his right arm like exploding manually just by itself. So I just think that's from his right arm exploding, not necessarily the rocket. Obviously, the rocket is going to be the cause, or like the final cause of his like right arm exploding. But I think there's like other external factors that would go into his arm exploding. So I don't necessarily think that we could just say that it would scale to their AP just because of that. And also, what didn't I address previously?
I was saying like the earlier the with him getting like staggered over and stuff, but like I guess you kind of just responded to that. But anyways, yo, Hyakustar, bruh. Sorry, I thought my mom called me. Like I was saying, right? Can you repeat that last part again? My mom thinking my mom called me kind of brought me off track.
Yeah. So I just think that there would be external factors as to why he'd be staggering back, mainly due to the fact that his right arm explodes. And we can see in the clip, if you look at it, we can see the explosion of the rocket. And then since he's taken damage, he gets down to 50% HP and his right arm explodes. So I just think that it's just like these, like since it's showing him getting down to 50% HP and his right arm like exploding by itself. I just think that that's directly showing that like these other things of like causes of harm also are the reason that his like arm is exploding and not necessarily like the reason he's staggering back is because of the rocket. I just think it's because of his arm exploding.
Yeah, right. Right. I see where you're coming from, right? But in that instance, but yeah, right. I see where you're coming from, right? I really do, Yakista. I sympathize with you, right? But I'm just saying, like, based off everything we've established before and we've established after this, right? Hold on, my mom just called me.
All right, you want to conclude after that or after what you say? Oh wait, son called his mom.
Oh, my bad, man. I had to run around the parking lot. My mom parked in a really weird place. I'm
Oh,
really
that's fine.
something in the car. Anyways, God, what was
Um,
it saying?
yeah, you were giving like your final like word
Final?
about yeah.
We're concluding.
Yeah.
Anyways, if this is if this is like this is my concluding statement.
Yeah. Just give your concluding statement.
Basically, my concluding statement is, uh, I just think the point still stands that these two characters are equally matched. Maybe, yeah, I think that my concluding statement is these two characters are equally matched, and that's able to prove. Who is this guy?
Okay.
Hey
Anyway.
y'all, that's my friend.
Yeah, I have no clue who that guy is. Anyways, my concluding statement is I was able to prove that I was able to prove that these two characters are evenly matched. Hyakustar for me and Hyakustar both agreed to our characters' physical scaling, including David's scaling via the Sandevistan. Um, yeah, I also I think that the whole second point of this debate was kind of useless since the Yakustar agreed to the definition of harming being able to greatly affect the character, like greatly affect this character and greatly cause like great harm, and then and then he proceeded to agree to versus Battle Wiki's tiering system, and it's clear on that tiering system. It says, for instance, harming a character with a certain level of their ability allows another character to qualify for the corresponding tier. And I believe that this also applied to David's uh, PLS projectile launch system. If I remember the name. And other than that, we just argued about the Adam Smasher video for about like 5-10 minutes. Um, overall, I think this debate was just yeah, man.
Yeah. My concluding statement. I just think that I agree that like our characters were like equally matched within like AP and speed. However, I just don't think that he was able to prove why, or he was able to refute why my character would just like range diff him due to the fact that my character has a sword. Because we like argued on the point of him having like this projectile, but I just don't think that he was able to like properly like explain or argue for why it would scale to Adam Smasher and therefore would scale to like where I scaled my character at. So I just think that I won the debate just like via proving that like my character would just be able to outrange him. But yeah, I think that's it.
All right, you can end it right here.